you're here for the first time, welcome. And if you're not new here, welcome back.
It's been a minute.
Happy New Year. You know, this is
2026.
This is the way life goes sometimes, and it's all right.
We here last time, 2025.
For I think
October, September, November.
No,
August,
I think it was Sayana's birthday.
July.
Listen, when children start entering the picture and things get a little tough to life be like, and that's okay. We're here now, and we're so excited to share today our story of the labor and delivery of our second son, who is here, little Shiloh. He is now 2 months old, and he's just the cutest little thing. Truly the cutest little thing. But his labor and delivery and getting to that point definitely was a new experience for us. Obviously, it's our second child, but also it was different because we had a cesarean with Josiah, and so this time around we wanted to go for a vaginal birth, which thank God happened miraculously. And yeah, we just wanted to come on and talk about that because I learned through that journey a lot of families who've had C-section who want to have vaginal. There's, you know, so there can be a lot of like mixed messaging out there, and just wanted to share our story to, if it could encourage or help anyone, praise God. So yes, we found out we were pregnant with Shiloh, and you can't really say you're shocked, but we were like, okay, you know, not really as
prepared.
Yeah, prepared. Yeah, it's best word to say, prepared. For it, but we're like, okay, praise God, we're gonna be all right. So, you know, continue through the pregnancy. I did decide that I wanted to do vaginally, just because the reason for the cesarean wasn't anything that had happened with my body where it wasn't able to happen. So I think that's one thing to keep in mind if you are watching this as a mama who wants to have a vaginal birth after C-section. It's definitely obviously possible. Clearly with God, all things are possible. But also one thing that they'll ask you about is like, hey, what was the reason for your C-section? So the reason for our C-section with Saya was due to many different things happening throughout the labor process, augmenting the process and leading his heart rate to drop. Ultimately, I think honestly it was just getting epidural too soon before my body had established labor. He didn't like that too much, and so we ended up having a C-section. But yes, this time around I was like, okay, well, we just won't do that. we won't do that at all. And so we did have a doula, an amazing doula. Her name is Robin. So Robin, hello, if you're watching this, thank you so much.
Robin's Cradle.
Robin's Cradle, yes.
North Carolina area, Charlotte.
Yeah, she's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Literally amazing. Truly a blessing. And the person who referred her to us was Miss Carly. So thank you, Miss Carly. Miss Carly's been walking with us ever since like the miscarriage. So she has been an amazing support, and she also is a midwife and does natural birth deliveries and things like that as well at her practice. And so she suggested her to us, like, hey, it's definitely possible, reach out to Robin and see. And so we reached out, and it was perfect. She had availability, and we started meeting with her, and that kind of helped us to prepare for the labor and delivery, just a different way. So I would definitely say a doula is, if you can afford to have one, I think it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth the investment.
And even learning along the way. Some doulas, your insurance will cover it.
Yeah, sometimes they do. Yeah, it's helpful. So we started working with Robin kind of later toward the endish of the pregnancy, because I started experiencing some things at the doctor that I was going to at that time, where I just didn't feel like they were very supportive of the vaginal birth after C-section. So that's something that is common as well. Sometimes doctors will be supportive, sometimes they're a little hesitant, and it could be for a number of reasons. It may not even have anything to do with you necessarily. It just may be that certain practices are more, maybe they've done them more and it's more common for them, they're more comfortable than others. But whatever the case may be, I had a gut feeling like I don't really feel comfortable delivering at this hospital. And I was praying about it, and God confirmed it, like, yes, it's good to look, elsewhere. So we looked elsewhere. We decided to change our hospital that we were going to deliver at, and the care was literally from the first appointment was completely different. It's the same network, just different locations. But the team's approach to me as a mom desiring to have a VBAC was way more welcoming, loving. It's still informed and medical, but they just had a completely different approach and perspective. And I really appreciated that, for me, for the baby, for Dexter. They even asked, you remember the first appointment we went to, like they asked you like, hey, do you have any questions? Like they didn't even really talk to him at the other office, but we went to our new office. They were asking him, you know, like it was just beautiful. So so yeah, so we got towards the labor. So now we're going to, you know, done other things with the doula, trying to bring him down the canal and all that stuff. And I literally was like in pain just because he was so low in my sorry, I calendar. Thank you. You know, my tailbone was in pain, so I was ready to have the baby for sure. And I thought he was gonna come early. He did not. Showed us a lot of things in this pregnancy, and like, you know, you're not really running much, because I thought it was a girl. He was not. Thought he was gonna come early. He did not. He came one day after his due date. So yeah, so
I think the biggest thing for me was, I mean, just trying to be as supportive as I could be. I mean, because through the process of it all, I mean, that's probably the biggest thing I can offer. Like, all right, you know, what's best for you? What are you feeling? You know, you felt like the first doctor's office that we was going to kind of wasn't, you know, supportive of, you know, the VBAC. And, you know, I listened to what you were saying. I was like, all right, well, hey, you know, let's find another one, you know. And that's when you went and was like, hey, all right, I want to go all the way to Uptown, which was a little drive for us. But, you know, with a plan, I was like, hey, we should be able to, you know, make it happen. And God, you know, helped us kind of, you know, through that process. But, I mean, once we kind of made the transition over to the other doctor's office, I mean, you know, you was at peace, and that, you know, made everything run smoother, you know, compared to you being, you know, worried about like, hey, you know, what's this going to be? Is it going to turn into what it was last time? So that kind of made, you know, things flow smooth. And the doula, like you were saying, was also, Robin was very helpful. She was always encouraging and, you know, pouring into us and giving us the keys and tips and things we needed to prepare ourselves, you know, for a VBAC. So,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah, because I think the anxiety and stuff came from just, you can tell, like, it seems like it's giving, like it's lending itself towards, I'm going to end up being in the same predicament I was the first time. And not that I could tell that because we're not in the future, but you can just tell the verbiage, the kind of attitudes, like against certain things. And don't get me wrong, I think it's very important to listen to medical care and, you know, the things they give you, but it's also, I've learned through this, it's important to get like multiple medical opinions, you know, professional opinions, because, you know, doctors are still humans, and so they may have one perspective based on how their practice does things or how their location does something. It could be completely different in another space, right? So you just want to make sure you are weighing many options, not putting all your eggs in one basket. And so I was like, yeah, I just don't feel like very supported, because it started to go from, you know, not so supported to kind of like a negative vibe every appointment, you know. And I was like, I just don't want to be treated like that. So yeah, we switched over and it was great. So fast forward to the day, his actual due date, I was having contractions, and they were very light, and they didn't really have much consistency. But similar to Josiah, I woke up that morning with contractions. I was like, okay, you know, I'm feeling something. I was excited, but I wasn't, you know, you can be in early labor for a little while, and sometimes you can have some contractions and then it goes away, you know. So I didn't know exactly what it was, but I was like, we got some type of action. So I called Dexter he was at the gym in the morning. I was like, I am having contraction. I was so happy to say that because we hadn't had any action. I was like, I am having a contraction. I am having, and it does have a wave pattern to it. He's like, okay, great. So called the doula. She was like, cool, just go through the day as you normally would. And that's exactly what we did. We went shopping. We went to Old Navy, went to Chick-fil-A. We went around, we played with Saya that day and stuff like that. We literally did the day as usual. And yeah, I was having these contractions. And toward the evening, they started to pick up and they started to get a little more intense. I could feel them. They still weren't, they didn't have a set pattern, but I could feel they were intensifying. And so I was like, let's, you know, call our mothers, because they were part of the birth plan. Dexter's mama was gonna watch Josiah, and my mama was gonna come to be with us and meet us at the hospital to be there. So we were like trying to like, let's kind of loop in our moms. So yeah, so by the time my mama got here, it was the evening. And they were definitely kind of strong enough to where I needed to bear down on Dexter, kind of to get through it, which helped a little bit, but I could start to feel like they were getting, you know, intensifying. And so I was like, yeah, it's time to go. So our plan was to go to the hotel that was gonna be near the hospital. That way, you know, if I went into active labor, we would already be in town. And it was perfect because it was nighttime, no one was on the road. So we went ahead and left and told my mama, hey, we're gonna call you when we, you know, when we actually go to the hospital. So we go to the hotel and I was having these contractions, but I was still kind of like, maybe I'm gonna try to go to bed and sleep it off and see, you know, see. So I was like, let me take a shower to calm it down. Because earlier, I took my shower earlier that day and it calmed things down. So I was like, let me take a shower to calm it down. That shower did not calm anything down. That shower put me immediately into active labor. I think the shower was maybe no more than 10 minutes. When I got in, I was having the contractions here and there. By the time I got out, I was in full-blown active labor. My contractions were like 1 minute apart. They were very strong. I was having that feeling like in my bum, like if you know had a baby, you know, you could start to feel like that pressure. It was literally active labor. I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So we're talking to the doula, talking to Dexter, trying to lay down and sleep, could not lay down comfortably. Literally, I was in labor. So I told Dexter, I was like, listen, we just have to go. And I'm so sad to this day. We bought like $25 worth of bottled water. How much was it? Expensive bottled water we bought from the hotel, remember? And I left my Chick-fil-A in there, but it's fine. It's the least of the worries. But I was like, listen, we gotta go because I can't be laid down, let alone be still. Bearing down on him wasn't gonna work. I was in enormous pain. Like, in terms of contractions, I could just tell it was time, showtime. So we go, we leave. Shall we tell the story about the voucher?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we parked in the garage attached to the hotel. There's two different sides of the story. We parked in the garage, so Dexter goes, gets the car, brings it around to me because I couldn't even walk to the car, I was having a contraction. He brings the car around to me in the front of the hotel. I get in and we're going up the gate. And he was like, oh yeah, they said they were gonna give me a voucher to get out the thing. And he wanted to get out the car, go inside the hotel, get the voucher, come out and scan it while I'm in labor. I was like, baby, I will literally get out the car, open this gate so we can get out. Or I will drive through it. We're not gonna go inside and talk to people. I literally had no time, unless I'm gonna have the baby right here. Dexter says, that wasn't, what happened? What happened? That's what I saw.
The card reader was working.
Oh, see, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
so I was trying to put the credit card in to pay, but it wasn't reading it for some reason. So I was like, maybe I gotta go in and get a voucher. Yeah, to get out of here.
All I heard was go inside, and I was like, there's no way in the world when we're already in the car. I was literally going to break the gate. Thank God we didn't have to. Eventually it worked, right?
Yeah, we opened up.
That was the Lord, because I was gonna break that gate. We was gonna get out. I mean, and it's always all fragile, so I'm like, you can just pop it. So anyway, we go out, we driving through, we get to the hospital. We take the longest walk ever from the parking spot at the hospital to where we check in at triage, and I'm contracting all over the place. Contracting. Oh, but it literally felt like that walk was how long was that walk to you? It felt 2 hours.
5 minutes.
It felt so long. Because I was in labor, and I'm like, bro, I can't even walk. So we get there, they had me fill out paperwork, which was a hassle for me because I'm in labor. Then we get to the triage room, and I could like, at that point, I started to kind of like, not black out, but really like, I'm just focusing on, let's get the baby out. Like, I'm in so much pressure and the contraction is so painful, I'm not paying attention to anything except for I need to be in a settled place so I could push the baby out. And I even told them that, remember, I was like, I need to push. I have to push, like in the triage room, like I can't. So they went to check, so you know when you go to triage, they check how dilated you are to see how far along you are. And in my head, I'm like, Lord, if they tell me like 4 or under, I'm gonna really just, I don't know, because with Saya, we were 1. Oh, we were stuck at 4. Stuck. We were at 4 for maybe 2 hours, but anyway, yes, we were at 4 for a while. So I was like, anything 4 and under, I'm gonna be pretty sad. So, yeah, she went and checked and she was like, oh, you're 7.5. I was like, praise God, let's push the baby out now. Like, it was confirming to me what I had been feeling, which was like he was literally about to come, you know, he was on his way out. Which makes me think that maybe I was dilating all day, you know, but anyway. So they checked and, you know, they got me up there. My goal was this time, like I told you before, I didn't get that epidural because I got it too early, I felt like. And so this time my goal was to get to 7 centimeters naturally. And then if I can get there naturally, then I would consider the epidural depending on the pain, you know? So immediately, yes. Once they told me 7.5, I was like, great, epidural. So they rolled us back to the room. By the time I got up there, I was at 8.5, I remember that. And The midwife came in so sweet. I'm telling you, our team for delivery, top tier. The midwife and the nurse was there, Dexter was there, our doula and my mother. I'm talking about, this is the dream team and the Holy Spirit. Dream team, the best team ever. And so, yeah, so we got up there and I was able to get the epidural, which really calmed things down, because before that I was starting to get a little animalistic. I was, feeling a lot at one time. So I unfortunately bit Dexter's finger. I bit my own hand apparently. I was like, what are these circle things? Like after he was born, I was like, oh, I bit my hand. Okay. You just do a lot to get through it. So got the epidural and it literally just brought it allowed me to exhale literally for the first time since being in labor. And I was able to play my worship playlist and listen to it and kind of just be with God in that moment and kind of just process and be grateful. And I remember the midwife looking at me saying you're having a VBAC, and I was so grateful. I was like, yes, thank you, God. So yeah, eventually we were kind of laying there doing some different things, and then I could just feel that feeling I couldn't control. Even with the epidural, I didn't feel the pain, but I did feel that very, very intense pressure. So I knew that he was, ready to come, very intense. And so I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to push, but he's pushing himself out. So can we come on? So she came through and checked, made sure everything was good. She was like, oh, yep, you're ready to go. So, about 30 minutes after the epidural, we started to push. And we were pushing, his little hand was stuck. So she had to go kind of use her finger to get his hand out. But yeah, he came out beautifully. In a couple pushes, he came out. And yeah, it was absolutely amazing. It was the biggest relief feeling I've ever felt in my entire life. But it was great. He came out crying and came out looking like Dexter and all the things. My children decided the same day. They come out like their daddy, but just light skin. And so he came out and put him on my chest, and it was just an amazing experience. I remember looking at the umbilical cord and everything, that I didn't have that experience with Sai since it was a C-section. It was a bit different. So this time I was actually able to see oh wow, he's coming out of me. But it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. I thank God for every second of it. Recovery was great. We were able to leave, not the next day, but the following day. And everything was great. It was the labor was very intense, but it was very short. Literally from 9 p.m. I would say is when active labor started. We had him at almost 4 in the morning the next day. So really, if you're looking at the clock, what's it 6 hours maybe? So yeah, so I mean, to me it was definitely much shorter in terms of the active part. Was much shorter than with Sai, where I was feeling that active painful contraction for a little bit longer of time, and everything with Shiloh was a little bit shorter, which they say that sometimes your second will come quicker. I can definitely attest to that. That's what happened with Shiloh. He definitely was vibing out and then just came out of nowhere. It was very 180. So yeah, so it was a beautiful experience. Dexter was there. He got to witness everything. And tell them what you told me. Remember when you said that you would say how it was a life-changing experience to see your child be born?
Yeah, I don't remember what I said.
Yeah, well, Dexter said that witnessing life, you can really see God in a different way. That blew your mind, how you're witnessing life come into the world.
Oh,
yeah. You don't remember these things?
Nah, I remember seeing it, but I mean, it was a while ago. I can't remember what I said.
I remember because it made me cry. I was like, this is special. I remember that because obviously I'm not looking at my own self at birthing, but the fact that he was able to be there and see it, and he was cheering me on, and everyone was like, good job, come on, you got it, good job. It just was so much God in the moment, and little Shiloh just sit there looking like, here I am, all right, I did my job, where's my milk? But yeah, it was beautiful, it was great, and it was a great experience, very, very intense, but beautiful. Just because things are intense doesn't mean it's not beautiful. Just because things hurt and are painful does not mean it's not beautiful, and it's not miraculous. And so we experienced a great VBAC, and so just wanted to share a story of how Shiloh got here. Praying this encourages somebody. But yeah, now we're taking a little break because now we have in our 2 under 2 season, and my goodness, 2 boys under 2. I mean, Shiloh's still a newborn, so he's not really doing much except for crying when he's hungry or poopy or something poopy. But Josiah is rough and ready, okay? He thinks he's grown.
Moving and grooving.
He is moving and grooving. If you see our house right now, there's toys everywhere. Literally, this is his house. It's truly his house. And he's like waiting on Shiloh to get bigger so he be taking toys to him like he can't play yet. He literally hasn't even held his head up properly. But it's a beautiful thing even just to see their dynamic and stuff like that, and see how Sai is learning like, oh, gentle, he's a baby, you know. It's just sweet. It's just sweet. So we thank God for both of them, but just wanted to share this story. Hope this is encouraging you. If you know someone who has had a cesarean, who wants to have a vaginal and just wants to hear their testimonies, because that definitely helped me to hear positive experiences. You know, everyone's, you know, situation obviously is different, you know, because they factor in like how close together your children are, how old you are, your medical history, the reason for the C-section, all those things. And I think those things are important to pay attention to. Most important, as we know, is prayer. And really trusting God, and God will truly lead that. Like, I honestly believe if it wasn't safe for me to vaginally have Shiloh, that God would have led us in a different direction, clearly, you know, whether it would have been through the doctor, through something in labor, whatever. But one thing I can say that was different between last time and this time was honestly just not intervening, like truly allowing labor to just happen. Like when our doula was like, go out and just go about your day. That's probably the best thing that we could have ever done, honestly. Because we didn't go to the hospital too early, and then when we did go, we were truly in labor, and I was far enough along to where all the other interventions or the Pitocin and all those things it didn't matter anymore because we had already labored far enough, you know. So definitely encourage another mama that, you know, definitely God will help you and has given you all the ability and things you need to labor, you know. And so I would encourage you to definitely have the, you know, medical support that you need. But know that, you know, you don't have to be a rush. Like we rushed to the hospital last time, and I think that was our downfall. But this time we did it. We really just did it until I absolutely was like, I can't take it anymore, you know. Which was great, and thank God no uterine rupture or anything like that. But those are things that you really want to talk to your medical provider about, your doula, your midwife, things like that. But thank God we had a great team to talk us through it, and we're here on the other side with the baby who's asleep right now. So yes, if you feel free to comment below if you have any similar experiences, or just want to also, you know, give encouragement to any other people watching this, anything positive and encouraging, I think would be really, really good, because I know it's not easy to hear a wealth of information when you're trying to prepare to have your child. So yes, help someone and blesses someone. You want to say anything, honey?
Good job.
Good job. Thank you. You too. All right, well, love you guys, and until next time, we hope you have a great, okay, I don't know what I was going to say there.
Bye.
See you guys in the next video. Bye.